everyone, and welcome to the VitaCast episode 5. I'm your host, Tyler the Hypester. Also, I have with me Brian Sharon, the Share Bear.
Hey, what's going on?
I have Yuki, the quiet person that likes to make fun of me for deleting everything. Oh yeah, you can't say anything, I forgot. Anyways, I also have Kyle Wakeling. How's it going, Kyle?
Hey, not bad.
I don't really care. Anyways, let's get right into this with what I've been playing. I've actually only been playing one Vita game, and that's Killzone Mercenary, and I don't know if I said it in the last episode, but I finally beat the campaign.
Woo!
So, yeah, it was cool. Not going to ruin anything, but I'm playing through it again on the hardest difficulty. I'm going for that plat that Kyle already has, I think. You already have that, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I got it like mid-September, I think.
Oh, aren't you cool? Anyways, yeah, I'm going for that. It's going to be a little bit because I've been busy with a lot of PlayStation 4 stuff because the PlayStation 4 just came out. And I'm going to mention a little bit about remote play because a lot of people have been talking about it. And Kyle has a great post on the vitalounge.net of what remote play is all about. So be sure to check that out on the site. But yeah, I got to play a lot of games on remote play, and they work just as good as you'd expect. Everything seems pretty perfect. There's a few latency issues, but that's to be expected. It depends on your connection also. So, I mean, if you don't have a great connection, you're not going to have a great experience with remote play, really. But if you have a good connection, you should be fine. They remap a lot of the controls to the back touch, which works, but like shooters like Battlefield and Killzone, it makes it a little difficult to do, but it works. So if you're looking for remote play for a shooter, it's going to be difficult, so just keep that in mind. So anyways, let's move on to other people that have been playing. What else have you guys been playing?
Yeah, I jumped all the way back into the Vita's catalog, and I broke out the Gravity Rush. So, I've been playing a bit of that. I've been exploring the world of Gravity Rush a little bit. I'll tell you the truth, the reason why I jumped back into Gravity Rush was because of Destiny of Spirits and all those extra little packs, like they included Cat and all the other characters from the game. And I just wanted a refresher as to what the game offered, and even looking back, it's pretty impressive how much content was inside that game, and the quality of the game is also pretty impressive. I feel it's one of those games that kind of gets lost in the shuffle when we consider the great catalog of games that the Vita has had recently. I think it's amazing. I don't know if you guys have both beat it.
Platinum.
Yeah, platinum 100%.
Yeah, both of us. So step on our level.
Yeah, no, I'm not on your level. I don't even
Clearly.
think I've finished it yet, so I'm gonna go through it and try to finish that campaign finally. But yeah, that's basically it for fun. I've been doing a couple other things for review, including a couple of things we'll bring up later on in the conversation. But that's it for me.
Cool.
I just wanted to mention that, Brian, you should also get the DLC because it's pretty worth it.
I have it from PlayStation Plus, so I don't know if it's included in that.
It's not.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's not. So
It's
yes,
worth it, though.
will have to get the DLC.
Yeah, they're $4 each for us, but they're totally worth it.
What does the DLC include?
They're different packs, so you get a costume and like 2 levels that you have to like complete. If you get them before you've completed the game, they fit right into the story, but if not, you can go back and find them. So.
Okay, excellent. So I'll take that in mind. What have you been playing, Kyle?
Yeah, I've been playing Ridge Racer pretty steadily.
Ridge Racer?
Yeah. I've still not dug into all the modes and settings or anything, but I think it goes to level 16 or something like that's where you get the gold trophy for. So I'm assuming that's the highest level you can get or whatever. And I'm at level 10, so kind of getting there. I've been messing around with the cars a bit, but I can't really find like a big difference between them. They all kind of feel the same, which kind of sucks. The drift types that you select or whatever makes more of a difference on how the car drives than the actual car choice. I also dug into Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm liking that quite a bit, though the handling with the analog stick sort of sucks. Kind of, yeah, not liking that. Other than that, I've been playing a little PS3, cleaning up trophies. That's pretty much it.
Very nice. All right. What do we got for new releases, Brian?
Well, this week we're a little bit shallow on the new release front, but we do have the Amazing Spider-Man, which swings onto PlayStation Vita tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when you're listening to this, and that's in Europe and North America. And then, of course, on Friday we have Tearaway from Media Molecule. That's also in North America and Europe. And for North American PlayStation Plus subscribers, we have Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, which is free this week. So yeah, jump in on that. So it's a pretty excellent week to be a Vita owner, in my opinion.
I'm excited for Tearaway.
Everybody here is excited for Tearaway, not just you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Not exclusive to Tyler, okay?
I thought I was the only one.
Just because you're the hypester.
Well, I do like to hype stuff, so it makes sense. Anyways, let's get to the news. John is not here again, and I'm not going to butcher his accent again, so don't worry about that. But let's get to the news. First up, we have some delays, sad news. Loose Trousers was delayed most likely till 2014. It's not yet approved by Sony. Also, we heard the project manager had surgery, and there was poor internal development structure. So a lot of things going not so good for that development team over there, but hopefully it comes out working all right. And then also Switch Galaxy Ultra has been delayed till early 2014, and it's probably due to the multiplayer being added. Anything you guys would like to add about that? You guys are just talking.
I can talk about Switch Galaxy Ultra because I was the one who broke that story. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing in the case of Switch Galaxy Ultra. As much as it would have been awesome to have the game in November on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita, I think it's better that they launch with a fully enabled game, because they weren't going to launch initially with multiplayer. It was going to be an update down the line, but they're going to launch right out of the gate with the multiplayer function enabled. So I think it'll be good for them. As far as Luftrausers or Luftrausers, or yeah, everybody loves my pronunciation. So I'm not sure what's going on there. They mentioned that they had bad development structure or team structure. I think it sounds to me, I don't want to speculate, but it sounds to me like a lot of responsibility was lying on that one individual who had that unfortunate problem. And we obviously wish them the best of luck moving forward, but hopefully they'll have a better support system moving forward when they start to actually bring the title into development.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along to missing Rayman Legend levels. A lot of people were wondering what happened to these levels when Rayman Legends came to the Vita, and they were gone. So everyone was wondering what happened, but they've been announced for when they're coming back. So Ubisoft said that the invasion levels and leaderboards will be added on the 26th of November, and it's all 28 levels. So that's good news, but I feel like they really should have had this day one.
Is it too late, maybe?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit. I played it, I reviewed it, and kind of just haven't played it since. Kind of been done with it. I mean, it's a good game. I enjoyed it, but it would have been nice to have those day one.
Yeah, it's kind of a stab in the back for those early adopters who, they went out and got the game first, and they don't even have all these levels to play, and then they play the whole thing and don't want to go back. So.
Right.
And I think at this point you might even be willing just to wait it out, and hopefully it hits PlayStation Plus and you can play it for free, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when they add the levels, I'll pop it back in my Vita and see what they're all about, see if they really were that amazing. So, I'll give it another shot. We are just, talking so much. We're just blowing right through all this stuff. All right, up next we have Oddworld New and Tasty. It just got a new trailer and release window for spring 2014. I know honestly nothing about this game, so do you guys know anything about it?
Yeah, I don't know much about the game itself, but I'm excited to see Oddworld coming back. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big Oddworld guy, and that's why I'm very excited to see Stranger's Wrath being headed onto the PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection this week in North America. I love that universe. I love those games, and I'm glad to see a new game coming out. Are you guys fans of the series?
I played the originals back on the Xbox, I think.
Oh, Tyler.
I know.
On the PlayStation 1. Are you talking about Munch's Odyssey?
Well, I don't remember. I was like 12 or 10. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I think it debuted on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, well, that's what I know.
But Stranger's Wrath was on the Xbox, so I'll give you that.
Okay. Well, wasn't there one that was like the side-scroller one? Wasn't that on Xbox?
There was
like
a platformer, like a 3D platformer game, Munch's Odyssey. That I think that was a launch title with the original Xbox, but I don't think there was a side-scroller.
Huh. All right. Well, you got anything, Kyle?
Yeah, not really. Like, I only know what I've been told about the game pretty much, and just it doesn't seem like my kind of game, so I've kind of avoided it. But I do know that a lot of people like the Oddworld games and would love a new game to play. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move it along. We also would like to announce that we'll be covering some PlayStation mobile titles and reviewing those. So yeah, woo! So if there's any PlayStation mobile titles out there that you've been wondering about, we'll be getting review copies to talk about and review. So just thought we'd share that. Also, we got PlayStation and Amazon joining forces. So now you'll be able to buy PlayStation codes off the Amazon store. So that's pretty cool.
I think that's US only, right?
US only?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm asking.
Oh, John put all this news together. I'm just reading it off. I have no idea.
I believe it's only Amazon.com, but as long as you're like ordering from somewhere they support shipping to, I guess you could get it. Like, I know they're not shipping you anything, but I believe that's the case.
Yeah, I still think it's a really good thing. Obviously, the more options we have to buy games, the better. I was just speaking with somebody actually from Jamaica on Twitter, and he was saying how incredibly hard it is to get games out there, like hard copy. And he goes, so the only option for him left over is to go through the PSN store, but unfortunately they don't sell PSN cards in Jamaica. So he's a young guy, and I presume that he had some trouble getting a credit card or just access to credit card, and maybe even PayPal can be a little bit of a barrier to entry. And so any other options for people to jump into the PSN store, hopefully, I don't know what it's like in Jamaica, but the more options, the better.
Yeah, I've heard that complaint before, that people can't access they can access the PlayStation Store, but there's no way to get cards or anything because they don't support them in that country. Kind of sucks. They should let people know. Because, it's pretty easy to actually join, like, another country's PlayStation network and just work through them. So they should let people know.
Well, I know Amazon's pretty international, but there's no getting around the fact that its hub is in the United States. So I was wondering, what's the impact like in the U.S., Tyler? Do you see it permeating a lot of people's online purchases?
I don't know. Not really.
Not really? So
no.
Well, that's a wealth of information. Thank you.
I'm just
Tyler's so informed.
I am. I'm very informed. You don't even know.
Apparently you don't even know. Okay.
I don't.
I think we're all just focusing on Tearaway, and our minds have gone to mush.
Yep. I'm just waiting for that day.
Which day is that?
It's the 22nd, Friday.
That you can remember.
I can be. Well, I won't say why I remember.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, there's kind of another big console coming out that day.
Microsoft.
No, it's the new iPad.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, it's the Xbox. I'm actually going to be getting it.
Are consoles raining from the sky in Seattle? I don't know what's going on.
Well,
how many
Microsoft
Vitas
is
do you
based
have
in
again?
Seattle. I have 2,
Okay.
and then my girlfriend has 1, so we have 3 in the house.
When you get all these consoles, will you be making some sort of Voltron or Power Rangers like trend?
I'll duct tape them all together, make the super console.
Awesome.
We want pictures that it didn't happen.
Okay. Yuki's saying that I have a lot of money. I actually don't. I'm not the one buying the Xbox One. My girlfriend's actually buying it, So
Figure
meh.
it out.
I ain't saying Tyler's the gold digger.
Yeah, pretty much. She's a millionaire. I'm in it for the money.
So for all those listening, prior to going on the air, Tyler's girlfriend was abusing him. We didn't want to say anything, but this is kind of a call for help. Tyler's in an abusive relationship with his girlfriend.
It's true.
Yeah. So if you...
I might...
Go ahead, Tyler. I'll let you speak.
I'm going to be buying a plane ticket and spending the night at Brian's for a while. So if you need to get a hold of me, I'll be at Brian's house.
So I'll be staying at Kyle's house because Kyle...
I'm going to
That's
Paul's,
messed up.
so I don't know what you guys are going to do.
This is getting weird.
I think we're all going to Yuki's. I think that's how it works out anyway.
Definitely.
Right, party at Yuki's.
Where are you in Germany again, Yuki? The middle part?
Yeah.
On top of the wall, or... Uh-oh, he's typing. Oh, okay. So he doesn't know where he lives. The middle. Okay. Directly in the middle. Longitude, latitude. He thinks so. He's not sure.
So when I go to the airport, I'm just going to say I need a plane ticket to the middle of Germany, and they'll know where I'm going.
Just
No,
tell
you
him
say
need to go to
Yuki's
Yuki.
Yuki's house. All right. We have a plane leaving in 10 minutes.
Just follow the 99 red balloons and you'll find your way.
Ah, jeez.
All right, I think we should get back on track.
Oh,
Serious
yeah, that's right.
business, okay?
There's a track for this podcast? Man.
Serious business.
Well, that's all the news we have. So,
Do we have a special guest this week, Tyler? Dun,
you know,
dun.
that would probably be something the host of the show would probably say.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's me. All right, so from here, let's take it to our interview with, I forgot his name. It is Aaron Sender,
Professional.
the marketing manager over at Bloober Team. We talked to him a bit about Amen 2 and some other stuff, so take a listen. Ba-da-doo!
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello, everyone. We have another guest with us today, the marketing manager at Bloober Team. I'd like you to welcome Aaron Sender. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good. I'm very happy to be here with you guys. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. It's nice to have you here. All right, so let's get to the bottom of all these questions we have for you. So you're part of the team that's developed Amen series on the Vita. So one of my first questions is, it's clear that both Lost Vikings and Lemmings were inspirational for the work on Amen series, but what other titles, if any, helped shape the design of the franchise?
Well, I think those two were two main things that we looked at when we developed both Amens. Well, I think like the whole genre of puzzle platformer was kind of what we looked at, because we wanted to create the game with this retro feeling that was similar to Lemmings and Lost Vikings. So these titles were like the main things that inspired us.
Okay, cool. One of our writers isn't here today, John, but he wanted to add that he played the demo of the original Amen, and while it seemed an interesting concept, he found that the game wasn't really for him. What improvements does Amen 2 bring to the table, and what ways is it different from the original?
So if he felt like first Amen wasn't for him, I'm pretty sure Amen 2 is even more not for him.
Really?
Because what we changed is we made the game more difficult and more complex. The stages are a bit bigger, and we added some additional skills for characters, which allowed us to expand our level design. So we could do more stuff with levels and made them more complex, which also made them more difficult. So
okay.
The first Amen was too hard for him, or he doesn't enjoy the idea in general. There then I don't think Amen 2 is really for him.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of works into my next question. It's no secret that as developers, you are intent on making difficult games. Do you feel that the games are missing the sense of challenge that used to permeate the medium?
Well, that's a pretty hard question because I feel like there's a belief in general gaming community that the games are getting easier and easier over time. Like, we feel like games 10 years ago were much harder than they are now. And I think it's partially true because of all the quick time event stuff, like you never die in game, and all that things that hardcore gamers really hate. But also we need to think about it. 10 years ago, when we played the game, I'm not going to be afraid to say that, we sucked at gaming. And those 10 years of playing games constantly, developing skills, seeing different design of different games, and, getting really confident while gaming makes us feel like games are easier. But on the other hand, our strategy is to make difficult games that are targeted towards the most core audience. So if someone writes on, let's say, Reddit or NeoGAF that, guys, games now suck, they're so easy, like, there's no challenge, I beat everything without a problem, then we are making games for this guy. So I think the general idea behind our games is to satisfy a very specific customer that wants a challenge in the game, and he wants to feel that he's actually beating the game, not the game is like getting beaten by itself in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that kind of pours into another question I was pondering. Besides being one of the more challenging titles on the PlayStation Network, Amen 2 also has a vibrant and colorful palette. I was wondering if it was intentional for you to include these deceivingly cartoonish visuals with the creation.
Well, you mean like someone sees the game, the PSN, and thinks like, oh, that looks nice and easy,
Exactly.
and then suddenly, bang. No, that was not the idea at all. The idea behind the visuals was that we wanted to get this retro feeling that could attract players who miss retro games, like puzzle platformers, with this kind of vibrant, colorful design that's kind of gone now. And I think that developers went into a bit different art direction now, when they design platformers. I feel like all of them are pretty dark right now. They have these dark settings and dark colors, and so I wanted to make something different with this like positive vibe.
Okay. I was also wondering that with 44 stages that span across 4 worlds, along with numerous costumes to unlock, it's clear that with Amen 2 you've included a ton of content. Given the portability of the platform, was it important to deliver a media experience as an incentive to return to the mobile snack?
Yeah, there's a lot of content, and that was the intention, to make a lot of content. Like, we had a competition, I don't know if you heard about it, for 100% run.
No, I didn't.
And yeah, so we made a competition for the 100% run of Amen 2, and the quickest 100% run gets a PS4 from us. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. The first person to beat the game was like a week to 100% it, so it's quite a lot of time. And to get to the question, I feel like now handhelds are in a pretty weird spot with the whole of mobile gaming on smartphones, that if someone buys for a Vita and is looking for games, he wants more than just, a quick experience that was already a handheld thing some time ago. I mean, he can play Angry Birds on the bus on his phone, right? He doesn't need to buy Vita for this. So he wants more than just, a few hours of gameplay. So I want to give this to people that bought our game.
That's really interesting. also, I wanted to talk about the fact that one of the most surprisingly enjoyable additions to Amen 2 is the narrator. I was curious, who is the actor behind this performance?
Actually, I was trying to check it for you, but I couldn't find a person that would know this.
The mystery.
It's a
man.
mystery that will go unsolved.
It's a mystery, but the mystery is mostly caused by like holidays in the company. The people who might knew it are out of the office now, and I can't reach them. But I will check it for you, and I'll let you know.
So stay tuned to the Twitter account of Bloober Team, right?
Yeah.
All right, jumping in here. Both Amen 2 and the original are games perfectly suited for portable gaming. What attracted you to making the series home on Vita rather than some of the competitors in the space?
So the first Amen was the launch title for Vita. So we got the opportunity to create a game for the launch of the new system, which is always a very good thing. It's a great experience, first of all, to meet all the deadlines and all that stuff, and new hardware. You can learn a lot by developing the launch title. And then we just follow the path of Vita, because we, in general, stick to PlayStation platforms, and we will stick to PlayStation platforms, because we feel that the audience I was talking about before, the core gamers, they also stick to PlayStation. Because, at least for me, PlayStation is like more of the core, pure gaming console, and always been like this. And also the games are pretty different from other consoles. Like, you got like Xbox One right now, which is like semi-gaming console, semi-multimedia system. Then you got Nintendo with all the Mario and all that stuff. That's not very hardcore at all. So yeah, we are going for PlayStation, and if you want to make portable games for PlayStation, it's Vita. And it's a very cool piece of hardware. So why not?
I'm sure Sony would appreciate you saying that.
I think that's why Sony went for this way, like a pure gaming console. So it's like their choice, and I think it's gonna work for their favor.
We sure hope so. All right, going into my next question here. Last question, actually. I know you guys are just recuperating after the release of Amen 2, but are there plans to continue the series, or will Bloober Team be going in a fresh direction with your next project?
So right now we are finishing the development of Basement Crawl, which is gonna come pretty soon to PlayStation 4, like very soon. So it's more like crunching than developing. Then we've got another project that's already in progress, but I can't really talk much about it. But it's gonna be also PlayStation platform and most likely PS4 only. But for Amen 2, I'll say Amen 3. We don't have anything planned right now, and we've got at least 2 more projects that are new IPs next. But maybe in the future you're gonna see another Amen 2. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do something for Vita in the future, because like it's a great console, and I really wish it would be doing better than it's doing right now. It should be doing better than it's doing right now, like in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's going to be a lot of cool games coming soon.
We all do too.
Yeah. I think the remote play is going to really help Vita. And if the Vita sales will grow because of it, so I hope we'll see more games, like more AAA games. We've got enough indies on Vita, we need more AAA titles. Maybe
we got Tearaway coming.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about getting my own Vita, because I don't have, that's like the only PlayStation console I don't have. I was like thinking maybe I should get one, like the Tearaway bundle coming, so maybe.
You're a
There
smart
you
man.
go.
I've
played the game, it's fun.
Is there a Tekken on PS Vita? Because I bought PlayStation Portable just to play Tekken, I'm wondering if there's one for Vita. But I haven't checked it yet. Do you guys know?
I believe there's Street Fighter crossed with Tekken, but I don't know if there's a pure Tekken game coming or not.
I'm more of a Tekken guy, so.
All right. Well, is that all we have, you guys, for questions?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he covered it pretty well.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Aaron?
Thanks for having me on the show. If you want me to join you anytime, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Yeah, no problem. It's glad having you here.
Yeah,
sure.
Thanks for coming.
I don't know much about Vita, like games on Vita actually, because I don't play on Vita, but I'll try to learn more so I could be a valuable addition to your show.
Well, when you get a Vita, you're going to have to let us know.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Aaron Sender from Bloober Team. If you'd like to follow them on Twitter, they're at Bloober Team. They're also on Facebook at Bloober Team as well. Thanks for being here, Aaron.
Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
Okay, and we're back from our interview. We'd like to thank... I just forgot his name again. We'd like to thank Aaron Sender for taking the time out of his day to talk to us. Let's move on to some giveaways. I have a Velocity Ultra European code, so get your Vitas out or your PS3s out or the internet, whatever you use to redeem your code. It's first come, first serve. Here is the code. PPLJF3NBFLF8. There you go. Velocity Ultra European code. Get on that. And Brian also had something to mention about giveaways, so what do you got, Brian?
Yeah, as many of you guys know, we had the Tearaway Swag-Away contest this week, which was extremely successful, and thank you guys for entering.
Yeah.
Woo! So, if you guys don't know, you missed the boat. We were giving away special IOTA key rings, and we were also giving away Tearaway t-shirts to all the lucky contestants, well, to the winners. And speaking of winners, I wanted to say that if you've won, if you check the post, if you've won, you have to email me at brian.sharon@thevitalounge.net with your address and mailing info, so that I can actually send you what you've won. Otherwise, you will forfeit it. So the deadline on that is on Thursday. Now, let's say 11:22 a.m. again. The deadline's for that time because I need to ship these things out because everybody wants to get their hands on them. But I've hinted on Twitter that we have retained a key ring and a t-shirt to give away on this very podcast. So, woo, yeah, I know. So, for being awesome and listening to the VitaCast, you have a chance to win one of these great prizes. So, the first two people to tweet the official Vita Lounge Twitter account, so that's at the Vita Lounge, with the comment, Hypester, will win the t-shirt. And the second one to send in Hypester to the Vita Lounge official official Twitter account will get the key ring. So get on that. We'll be checking, and hopefully we can send you that as well. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Sounds pretty cool. Those stuff there you have looks awesome, and I want one. I'm jealous.
Too bad. It was in the rules that you couldn't win, Tyler. I put it there specifically.
Yeah, you specifically.
Well, if no one replies, then I guess it's all going to me, right?
No, if nobody replies, we're going to redistribute it. Yeah, I know.
Lame.
So we're going to do a redistribution, and I'm going to give it to first come, first serve, and there's going to be no random generation. I'm just going to give it to people I like, so you're not one of them, and you're not eligible for that one as well. No, we'll do we'll do a random generated as well, and I just... If you guys won, I don't know why you wouldn't want to send your address, so send it in.
Just make sure you don't comment it publicly.
Yeah, don't do that. Send it to my email.
Exactly.
Or else Tyler's going to be sleeping on your couch for a week.
I'll just show up and be like, I got your Tearaway stuff.
No, there's one guy on Twitter, he's like, do I have to give you my address? I told him, no, I can just leave it in a park and you can pick it up.
leave a ransom note with like all magazine clippings to spell everything out.
Well, I don't know what other option he was looking for. I have no clue. Maybe he wanted to come to my house to pick them up. I don't know.
Just do an airdrop.
A blind drop.
Yeah.
Just really don't give your address to public, because then you're going to get, 1 tearaway item and 47 bags of poop on your front lawn. So.
If you're into that kind of thing, that might be what you wanted to do, though. No.
Not a lot of Brian.
And Brian takes a left turn again.
Well, that was interesting. All right, so let's move it along before Brian goes somewhere else. To the listener mail, what do we have, Kyle?
All right, Lester has sent us another, he says short, but it's quite long, email, so I'll read that. And even though the question's at the start, don't answer until after I'm done here, so we don't cut them off here. All right. Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to say thanks for selecting my question for your discussion in your third podcast. Secondly, I'd like to apologize for the length of the email. We're going to need one for this, too. I tend to get loquacious. I'll try and keep it short and sweet this time, though he doesn't. My question is twofold. When do you think video games will get sex, love, and relationships right? And what game do you think came the close to getting it right? I ask because of the ridiculous shenanigans involved in games like Valhalla Knights 3. And before anyone jumps on my throat, yes, I understand that theirs is a different culture. That's fine that their culture sees things differently than mine. Well, what's not fine is the devaluation of a person into being nothing more than an accessory or reward or personal sex doll. That's wrong, and that's what games like this do to perpetuate the thought that women are beneath men in some form or fashion, even if it's only a video game. Then there are games like Seduce Me for the PC, which is little more than mini-games and sex. Even BioWare doesn't get it right, though they may have been the ones to get the closest. In their games, however, sex is treated like a reward for answering all the questions right and interacting with a non-player character enough. Then cue the awkwardly animated makeout session and fade to black for the implied sex or a montage of extremely softcore porn. Haha. For me, the game that came the closest was one that my wife introduced me to, Harvest Moon. Specifically, the PlayStation entry, Back to Nature. As most everyone knows, you have the ability to get married in that game, and you do so by finding a girl among the various available bachelorettes while running around town doing errands. Find one that catches your eye. I always pick Mary, the librarian, because she was raven black hair and glasses, just like my wife. And you have to talk to them, befriend them by giving gifts, discover which gifts and things they like best, and sometimes influenced by your actions during random story events. Ultimately, it's about taking the time out of your busy farmer's schedule to spend some time with them. Eventually, they start to like and grow affectionate towards you. And then one day, you get a blue feather and you propose. If you've won her heart, she says yes. While obviously gamified, this is, in my opinion, the closest any game has ever come to depicting relationships, and even has its flaws. Your conversations are pretty two-dimensional, and as long as you spam them gifts they love, they'll marry you. Wait, perhaps it's a bit too much like real life. Until games get a relationship as deep as the first 10 to 15 minutes of Disney's Pixar's Up, first time I've ever cried in an animated movie, curse you Pixar, it'll just be awkward animations and sex for the sake of sex, because that's what the target demographic wants. Thanks again, guys, for the awesome coverage of all things Vita, Lester Paradis. So what do you guys think?
So, first of all, that was a very short email. That was a good email, though. Very descriptive, and I agree with what he's saying for Harvest Moon. That's definitely a game that gets relationship stuff pretty good. I've played a lot of them, and I've always liked them. So, but Yuki and I both agree that Persona 4 and Persona 3, so basically the Persona series, gets relationships really well as also. You have to work at it, and it's not like you just go straight into a relationship and, you're doing the dirty. That game, you actually go through like the stages kind of getting to know the person, hanging out with them, and then that awkward moment when you ask them out or ask for their number, all that fun stuff. But if you're looking to get a game that's going to get the relationship stuff right, there's not that many out there, and that's not that's not a good thing. They need to. Some games just push it too far, and it gets a little weird. Like, I remember a long time ago, my older brother decided to buy a Playboy game, and I think I was like 12, and I was like, oh, this is weird. This is what's happening down there. Just kidding, that didn't actually happen. But my brother actually did buy the Playboy game, and I thought it was really weird. And Yuki, it was the Sims clone weird Playboy game. It was really weird, but like Brian was saying, for Valhalla Nights, it's just awkward. Like, you can't really sit there and play that game without having people look at you funny if they hear girls making noise and you're rubbing the screen. It gets a little weird.
Yeah. I was a big fan of Harvest Moon. The Harvest Moon game he's talking about was also on the N64, which is the console I had at the time. And I had a relationship with a girl in that game named Karen. Unfortunately, we're no longer together. We had a child. We did have a child. But no, he's right. That game got relationships to a degree, especially considering the time correct. You had to court the girl. You had to learn the intricacies of her life. For example, I brought up Karen. She had a father issues at the time. So you have to deal with those, and then you have to court her, and then you have to date her, then you have to ask for her hand in marriage, and then you actually have to have a kid. I don't think you have to, but it's one of the stages you can explore, and the difficulties that come with a relationship and a child. So for an earlier game, it definitely got relationships better than some of the more modern titles. Although he does mention Mass Effect, and I agree with him, it can be a little stale there as well. The question as to how we get relationships done correctly in games is extremely difficult. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about setting up situations for people that we don't know. Remember that developers are making games for people that they're not aware of. They have an idea of their fan base, but not everybody's the same. The best thing they can do is provide a ton of options. And as Tyler said, Tyler and Yuki, Persona 4 does a great job of providing you a bunch of different options in female characters with different likes and dislikes so that you can explore whatever interests you in women. So, I think Persona is the closest of the modern games. But I think it's a difficult thing to do as a developer. Creating relationships in general in any storytelling medium that is as dynamic as video games would be a tremendous feat. How about yourself, Kyle? Do you have any opinions on the matter?
Yeah, really for me, the games that get relationships and stuff like that right are visual novels. Like I know the Roge type, like the type that if it features erotic content, doesn't really get too deep. But if you're playing anything that's a little bit more, I would say soft, not to be soft core, but just to be like soft in content. It seems that they're better at getting to know the person. There's never sex, so it's just like real life. All that kind of leading up to getting to know somebody and having to remember things about them and that kind of stuff. Visual novels do it right. But as for like general relationships, friends, that kind of stuff, even going into relationships, I thought Heavy Rain did a good job developing the different relationships between people. I can't remember what the girl's name was, but the main character and the girl at one point can get into sort of a relationship kind of area, and I thought they did that quite well.
Yeah. I never played Heavy Rain, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
But to jump on what you were saying, Kyle, I think you're 100% right. I think most games, whether it be action RPGs, strategy, whatever the game may be, the romance element is an afterthought. So if you take Mass Effect, to use Lester's example, character building is definitely an integral part of that game. But I wouldn't say necessarily that romance is at the forefront. So it is somewhat of an afterthought, and it's difficult to integrate those kind of relationships into the game. For example, I don't know if you've all played through the Mass Effect series, but the girl I chose in Mass Effect was Jack, who's a bald-headed, tattooed girl. And I think I chose her because she's a little bit more dynamic compared to the rest of the characters, but it's difficult. It's really difficult to integrate a another three-dimensional character. I don't mean three-dimensionally made or visually. I mean as a character to flesh out a character and make them interactable within a video game. It's very difficult. I struggle to think of any other game that does it correctly this generation out of all the AAA blockbuster type games. Yeah,
I think they all do.
check.
Yeah, sorry, awkward moment. Girlfriend's talking to me.
Speaking of relationships.
Exactly, the real life here, people. Anyways, is that all we got for that email?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Hopefully that answered your question or statement, Lester. Feel free to email us more books at podcast@thevitalounge.net. We're more than happy to read your chapters. I think that's all we got for today, unless there's anything else you guys would like to add.
Well, we're missing the game of the week, Tyler.
You know, that's why you're here.
I'm here? I thought it was a voice in your head, Tyler.
Oh, I've been doing this all by myself.
Yeah,
you guys are all
you guys are just characters.
Yeah, so
you're right.
Going back to the
ball,
business. The game of the week this week is Castle Storm by Zen Studios. Yeah, so if you've been following the VitaCast, you know that we love Zen Studios and we love Castle Storm. And if you haven't played Castle Storm, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's the answer to portable gaming on the Vita. It's perfect for going anywhere. You want to play for any period of length of time. Go ahead. If you want to do a 5-minute little game, it's a perfect bite-sized snack. But if you want to really dig in, there's enough meat on the bone there for you to enjoy. If you're a fan of RTSs, RPGs, action, there's a little bit of everything for you in that game, including multiplayer, which is pretty big. I think Tyler can attest to how deep the multiplayer can be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got our butts handed to us quite a few times. We jumped in and we were trying to defend our little keep there, and we got our butts creamed.
Brian just kept dying.
Yeah, it was mainly me. I wasn't aware that you're not supposed to hurt your teammates. I don't know if that's
fire you guys.
Maybe maybe they're gonna patch that. You can't lose by killing each other. No, to be honest with you, I don't even know if there's friendly fire, but it was definitely my fault for sucking so much. But no, that shouldn't stop you, our listeners who are fantastic at games and can pronounce things and play games amazingly. Go ahead, pick it up, and yes, Castle Storm is our game of the week.
Very cool. It's a very good game. And just like the emails, you can tweet, or not tweet us. Well, you can tweet us if you want, but you could also email your game of the week so we could talk about one of your favorite games. And that's also podcast@thevitalounge.net. I believe that's all we've got, unless I'm forgetting something again.
No.
All right, and that's
And by the way, that's Jasper who just said no.
Yeah.
Welcome, Jasper, to the show. And say goodbye to Jasper on the show.
Bye.
All right, so let's get out of here. You can be
Hi, Jasper. Bye, Jasper.
You can be part of the show by emailing. I've already said it 3 times. I'll say it again. podcast@thevitalounge.net. You can come join our forums at thevitalounge.net/forums. And you can also find us all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PSVITA Reviews. Kyle's at Teflon Tactics. Brian's at Brian G. Sharon. John, who's not here, is at JHR Vita Lounge. Jasper, who just appeared out of thin air, is at JASBZ. And Yuki is at Yuki_WR. I'd like to thank you guys for listening and have a great week.